Hello everyone. Remember these? Well, I came across this disc, and you might think, oh, it's just a very scratched, half-rotted out CD. Well, turns out this CD is actually blank. That's right, supposedly it can be written to, even though it's very, very scratched. And it will spin up, and it will be readable by the computer, and it will supposedly let you write to it. So today, I thought I would attempt to write to it and see how well this thing can actually handle being written to. I honestly have no idea how this is going to work out. I do not know if anything is going to happen at all. I don't know if it's going to be successful. I just don't know. So this will be a very cool experiment, in my opinion. I'm also interested to see if writing data to this disk is successful. I'm also curious to see if writing data to this disk is successful, will cleaning off the disk make the disk unreadable if it is readable after writing. Because not only are there scratches on this disk, it's also starting to rot. That's right, this disk is suffering of the dreaded compact disk rot. Although in theory these types of disks should outlive us by many, many years, in practice they have a tendency to get moisture inside the layers, and that moisture will separate the layers, and various bad things will happen. Including data loss. Over in some areas over here, it's very tiny, but there are a few places where the foil has been punctured. So, I do not know if that will affect anything. It may or may not. It probably will. But we will find out. Now, some of you may be aware of some of the fairly impressive error correction methods used on both CDs, DVDs, and Blu-ray. And basically, this can hold 700 megabytes, except it can technically hold a lot more. So there's a lot of redundant dummy data that is copied over and over again. So that is why discs that are this scratched may actually be able to play if they were pressed professionally. But as for burning a CDR that is this scratched and expecting it even to burn at all, I really don't know what to expect. So, we'll find out. So what I've done here is I have created a text file that just says test over and over and over again. And I've deliberately created the file to be roughly 1 megabyte in size. Now there's no actual proper reason for it to be 1 megabyte, but my idea is I'm going to copy hundreds and hundreds of copies of this one roughly 1 megabyte file that only says test in it over and over and over again, and then I will burn all of that data to the disk. And then we will see how far it gets and how many of those files are actually readable. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this in here. Whoops, gotta find that button. So I'll go over here, and as you can see, it's treating it like it's a blank disk. So far so good. So now I've gone ahead and I've created 701 copies of that one test file. So I have 702 files, and they come in at about 684 megabytes on disk. Now I could put more effort into it and make it exactly 700 megabytes, but then due to file system goofiness it might end up being larger than 700 megabytes or something weird like that. It might not burn to the disk or something just because of that, so I don't want to waste my time on multiple levels by doing that. This amount of files will be more than enough to do what we want it to do. So now it's time to fire up good old image burn. I'm going to write the file from folder to the disk. I'm going to browse for the folder. And that is the folder. Are you really going to do this to me? Okay. Alright, you dumb thing. Thank you, Windows. Thank you very much, Windows. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Windows. Thank you, Microsoft. Alrighty. Gotta do this one-handed. There we go. Ha! Take that. So I've checked the verify box just for kicks. I'm not expecting it to actually be able to verify it if it is able to write at all, which I'm assuming it won't, but we'll find out. So this information here is populated correctly, so far so good. I'm still assuming it's not going to work, but we'll find out. So I've set it to the lowest write speed because that's what you should always do. And here we go. Oh, message. Let's see. You've only selected one folder. Would you like me to just add the content to the image? Yeah. Oh, this is probably going to make the computer hang or something. Yeah, that's okay with me. Sure. Alright. So, because I don't have a tripod, if I set up the video, it would be really shaky. I might be able to stabilize it in post, but if I don't feel like doing that, then I'll just cut out the part and I'll cut to when something happens, or doesn't happen. So already it's gotten farther than I thought it would. This will be very, very interesting. And already I spoke too soon. Cannot write medium. Incompatible format. And it is retrying. Retried 20 times. Down here. So down here it says, retry failed. Reason, cannot write medium. Incompatible format. Incompatible format? I don't quite know what that's supposed to mean. Now if you look down here, it did actually write something, it appears. But I'm assuming that just happened to be one little area where it thought it could write, and then it got to some dirt and scratches, and it just decided to give up. So I rejected the disk, and we take a look at it. I don't know if you can see it there, but it did write stuff to it. Like, look at all the scratches. But I don't know if you can see that ring right roughly where my fingernails start. It actually has written stuff to the disk. And physically, it's actually written more than I thought it would. So, let's pop it back in and see what happens. So, I'll close that out. And I'll go in here. Moment of truth. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to do this one-handed, please pardon me. Yay, keyboard shortcut. So as you can see, it thinks there's 701 files on this disk. But that can't be. That's just impossible. And if I look at the data here in properties, it thinks that all of it has been written. But obviously it's not. So I've highlighted all of these. I'm going to copy them into the folder over here. And let's see how far it gets. I don't even know if it's going to copy anything at all. So I waited for a minute here, and it's not doing anything. It's still calculating. And so I'm assuming what has happened is that there's some sort of file directory, and it copied that over correctly, but none of the other files. I'm still impressed that it was able to write any data at all to this disk, because technically it did successfully write. If it hadn't been able to write data at all, then it would not have been able to write all of these file names. So I'll cancel that. So in one last effort, I'm going to browse this disk here, and I'm going to try just double-clicking and opening a file here. So I don't know which file was physically written first, because with physical media like this, that actually does matter. But I'm going to start. See, where's the first one? Dang it! I hate this trackpad so much. I don't like this laptop in general, but it was handy. So I'm using it for this. So let's double click that. See what happens. This one might actually open. But it probably won't. And as expected, nothing's happening. It's just trying and trying and trying. It sounds like it's trying very hard, and it is. But I don't think it's ever going to find anything to read. So, if you didn't feel like you learned anything from that video, then here's something. Bonus tip. So, if you have a folder with a million billion text documents, then it actually is worthwhile to use NTFS's built-in compression. So if I check that here, then hit apply. This is of course the folder with all those files. 10 minutes remaining. No. And now, look at that. Down from 683 megabytes to 43.8 megabytes. Text is one of the most compressible digital media formats. And of course there are compression methods that are dedicated for text and will be even more efficient in compressing this sort of stuff. So there we have it. It technically wrote data to the disk, and it was technically able to read data. And I was very surprised by this. And if you look at all the scratches and everything on here, it is scratched literally on the whole disk, on the whole back. So it's not like there was a clean space where it could just read and write normally. But with that said, of course, as expected, it wasn't able to actually write files to the disk. So I hope this was at least somewhat entertaining. It was fun for me to do. Anyway, I'll catch you next time.